Hey, welcome back to the Life of Ben. It's been a long time, and last time you saw me, well, you didn't see me. Because last time Life of Ben was here, it was only for your listening pleasure, but now and forevermore, you get to watch who you're talking to also. Well, I'm back because I had someone ask me a question that I wanted to respond to. Because I had one of those days when someone asked me something and all I could think of to say was, and nothing would come to mind. Recently, Leah asked me, well, Ben, what are some books that you would recommend to read for my kids? Some chapter books. I want to get away from reading the picture books and want some good chapter books to read. And at the moment, I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't think of recommending the Roald Dahl books and BFG and Charlotte's Web and all the wonderful children's literature that's out there just escaped me at that time. So I'm back here today to answer that, and I want to tell you that I love reading to kids. I always have. I especially love reading adventure stories and fantasy stories, things that are going to take your mind and your imagination to a new place that's never been to before and create new images in your mind for you to think about and for you to listen to. Books like Mr. Popper's Penguins, like The Chocolate Touch, like Beverly Cleary books, and Judy Blume books. The early Judy Blume books, not the later Judy Blume books. But there are so many wonderful things out there. I'm not an expert on them, so today we're going to go find some people who are experts on children's books. So, come on. All right, here we are at Mills Lawn. This is my school, and you may wonder why we're here since school's still 3 weeks away before it starts. But I'm sure if we head inside, we can find some reading experts here because they just never seem to go home. There's always someone around here. I found Carol and Matt here at Mills Lawn. Matt is our principal. Carol is our gifted instructor who is new to our school this year, so welcome.
Thank you.
I know you have a 5- and 7-year-old.
Yes.
And you've worked with a lot of kids.
Yes.
And do you have any recommendations for someone to read to a 6-year-old for kindergarten age, for chapter book read-alouds?
Well, that's a good question, Mr. Trumbull. I appreciate you asking us that. I think it depends on the kid's interest.
He forgot my name's Ben, I think. It's okay.
I think his name's Ben. It depends on interest, but my son really got into nonfiction, and there was a whole series of books about animals that were about frogs and lizards and sharks and toads and all these different things. I think it's called All About Science Readers or something like that. Those were really powerful. We were talking about Roald Dahl?
Oh, my favorite author, yes,
Yeah,
the BFG.
BFG.
James and the Giant Peach.
So good.
My
The
two
Witches.
favorites. I didn't like that one very much. But S.E.O. Trot was another fun one about turtles. I love that one.
Yeah.
And then the other author I love is Kate D. Camillo and her story of the adventures of Edward Tulane or something like that. It's a fabulous story.
I'll have to look that one up.
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
It is wonderful.
My son Tyson loves mysteries, so he's getting into all these Judy Moody books, and there's like...
This is Heidi, and she teaches 1st and 2nd grade. Heidi, what books would you recommend?
One of my favorites is Fantastic Mr. Fox, and the reason why is because it's a great story. The chapters are about 3 or 4 pages each. There's character development, there's problem solution, there's also some controversy because there's guns, and you can talk about if the farmers are making good choices or bad choices, and then it's really easy to summarize each chapter because there's just one particular event for each chapter. It's a great book. I recommend it.
Okay, thank you. This is Cheryl. She's a 5th grade teacher. And Cheryl, what are some chapter books you would suggest for someone reading to a 6-year-old?
Well, I would definitely choose a Roald Dahl book, Matilda, BFG, Fantastic Mr. Fox. Some of those are really good for read-alouds. And also maybe the Magic Treehouse books. Those are really good also.
Okay, thank you. This is Deborah, and she's a 1st and 2nd grade teacher with us. Deborah, what books would you recommend as a chapter read-aloud for a 6-year-old?
Well, as a 1st grade teacher, one of the first chapter read-alouds that I use in classroom is This Is My Father's Dragon by Ruth Stiles Gannett. And they're old. It's really an old book, but they are great. And when I first saw them and came across them. I'm like, My Father's Dragon. What kind of story is this? Fantastic. A little fantasy, good moral values here. So then there's 3 of them. My Father's Dragon, and then Elmer and the Dragon is the second one, and I believe the last one is The Dragons of Blue Land. Great read aloud. The other series, again, another older series, is Cat Wings, and the first one is, I believe it's just this one, Cat Wings. It's by Ursula K. Le Guin, and they're cats that have wings. I know it sounds a little bizarre. They're in the city.
I see cats with wings all the time.
Yes, all right, but great story. And there's four of them. The wonderful Alexander and the Cat Wings. Another one is Jane on her own. And then Cat Wings returns. But the author's name is Ursula K. Le Guin. And I may not be pronouncing her name correctly, but take it from my heart. These are good books, all right? And then the last one that I made a little bit older, Mr. Popper's Penguins. I believe it's a movie now, but
yeah, it is.
The book is fantastic. So those are my 3 recommendations.
Thank you, Deborah. This is Jean Ann and Linnea. They're kindergarten teachers here at Mills Lawn. What are some books that you think would be good chapter read louds for a kindergartner or first grader?
Well, last year, our kindergartners really enjoyed listening to the Magic Treehouse series. There's a ton of them, so the kids enjoyed listening to those, and they have a lot of cute little pictures and themes and stuff, so I would say Magic Treehouse for sure.
First graders, I've read Fantastic Mr. Fox, and they love that, and the Elmer and the Dragon series. They really have enjoyed that. There are 3 books in that series, and they really get into that, and that's fun. Then, the classics, of course, Charlotte's Web, and
Poetry is also really good for the kids to hear with
reading
rhyme
poetry
and all of that.
yeah.
So the Shel Silverstein books, Where the Sidewalk Ends, is like a big favorite. I remember my teacher reading that to me. So the kids really enjoy that. And Jack Polutsky has all kinds of funny poems. So poetry for sure, as well as the classics.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So, there you have it, Leah, from the mouths of our teachers at Mills Lawn, plus a couple students there. Some recommendations for you. Hopefully you'll find some of those interesting. A lot of people there liking Roald Dahl and the BFG and James and the Giant Peach and all of his stories, and Fantastic Mr. Fox. Junie B. Jones was mentioned, and that's another fantastic one. I hope whatever you do find, you and your girls enjoy it. And remember, as long as you are reading to them, whatever you do read, you're all going to have a wonderful time. Enjoy, keep reading, and we'll see y'all later.
So you want to be a teacher? That's a very lofty goal. But it's not just anybody who can be one, you must know.